Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. I got a little more excited than I thought I would because I've been really waiting for this one. Not for too long, though. I'll explain that in a minute. This is the brand new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. It is one of her MIDI palettes. I held it up very quickly there, but don't worry, we're going to be spending a lot more time with it. As I said, this was released, it was leaked, there was contentious whether it was a leak, a real leak, a not a leak, a marketing ploy. It all went crazy, and bam, it was just released right after it was teased, and I actually bought it and got it and ready to go with it. It all happened so quickly, so I felt a bit foolish saying, I've been waiting for this one for a long time. Because it actually wasn't that long, but I have been excited about it. This is a MIDI, M-I-D-I, MIDI Natasha Denona palette, which are now $69. And this is, as you see, a beautiful, cool toned palette with matte metallics, sparkling foiled shades, and some new wet effect formula shades. There's three shades that are in the new formula, and they are a wet glossy or a wet sparkling. Now we are going to look at this. I don't have anything on my eyes but some mascara, so we are going to do two different looks. But look, you guys, you know this by now if you've been with this channel. I am a fashion and beauty journalist. I'm not a makeup artist, so we have fun and we play with the shades. But I know that you guys don't watch the channel just for inspiration. Actually, some people do, and I'm very flattered by that. But I'm a journalist. I'm a researcher. I've worked in the beauty industry for too long, but not as a makeup artist. So I am going to do two quick looks, but we're going to spend most of our time talking all about this and doing some comparisons. Now, when you get a new Pat McGrath palette, when you get a new Natasha Denona palette, where do the comparisons stop? Well, frankly, they don't. And I do not want an hour-long video. No problems with people that do hour-long videos. I think they're fantastic. But here on this channel, we just kind of get the necessary information out. I am going to do some comparisons. If there's anything that you don't see long enough or well enough or something else that you want, I do comparisons like crazy over on my Instagram page. You can request in here. You request it over on Instagram. I'll get it up for you right away. You know that. I won't forget you. I promise. Okay, so let's talk about this $69 MIDI palette. This is going to be a huge favorite with what we tend to call on Not Fit for Print Beauty. We tend to call our Cool Tone Revolution, folks. That's a group here on this channel. It's free to join. You just have to say you're a member. In comments, you can even give yourself a ranking. We have 10-star colonels here. I mean, why not? Some people want to stay with the troops. Some people are sergeants. We have all different rankings. Commander, you can be anything you want just to point yourself. Those are the people here who are waiting for all of these warm tones to finally die out so they can have more cool tones. They feel that people don't cater enough to those who love cool tone eyeshadows. Well, Natasha Denona certainly does. She has done quite a few, namely the Glam, and this one. Boy, this is going to be a cool tone lover's dream. This also comes at a time when we're looking at trends like latte and latte eyes and things like single one and done shadows. This really buys into it is a palette. Obviously 15 shades, but it's a lot of one and done and kind of neutrally cool tone, fun, easy. You got about 15 one and done shades in here, but a bunch of others and some really interesting, like I mentioned, those wet effect formulas, which we'll talk about in a moment. $69. Let's do a few different comparisons. Let's do 4 different ones to be perfectly honest. Let's start. We're going to do it in 2 different lightings. So let's start first in studio lighting. Now, you guys, I got to apologize. I'm like 5'2", probably at this point on my tippy toes. And I wanted to do nice big swatches, so I ran out of room. So please know that the swatches will continue this way. I'll point that out. And before I show you these swatches, I have little black arrows pointing to 3 different shades, Sheen, Mia, and Delilah. You'll see I drew black arrows on my arm. Those are those new wet look shades. I just wanted you to be aware of them because it's a new formula for Natasha Denona. So let's first look at this palette first in studio lighting. Here it is on my arm. Don't forget it goes out onto my hand. I'm sorry about that. I got short arms, I guess. And Sheen, Mia, and Delilah have some arrows pointing to them. Sheen and Mia are on that bottom row. And they are, Sheen is the first one there, and that is a glossy wet shade. And Mia, which is actually out on my palm, sorry, is a sparkling wet shade. And then up in the middle, we have Delilah. And Delilah in the middle, the first shade in the middle, Delilah is a sparkling wet shade. And the reason I put little arrows there simply is because that's just a new formula, and I wanted you to take note of it. And it can be applied with... it can be applied in any way you want. I mean, if you use your finger, you're going to get a little bit more warmth to it, and you're going to get a little bit more sparkle. But you can, you know, press it in, or you can apply it with like a flat brush and just kind of work it in there. We'll play with it a little bit during our demo and see what we can get out of it. All right, we know that we are going to best see these shades in the new I Need a Nude palette out in the warm California sunshine. So let's take them out there. Same arrows there showing you the new wet look shades, all three of them. And same issue with them going out onto my palm. I apologize. I need someone to pull my arm, I guess, and make it longer. Get that arm extension there. Here we are outside in the warm California sunshine. Many of you have been asking what's happening with this supposed tropical storm or hurricane touching down in Southern California. Geez, I don't know. By the time you see this video, we probably will. It's supposed to give us like 6 inches of rain or be nothing. It's like one or the other. People are panicking. It's crazy. Why am I doing a weather report? All right, take a look at that there on my arm. So beautiful. And I wanted to spend a lot of time at different angles out there in the sunshine. All right, the main one to compare this to is, as I mentioned earlier, the first Natasha Denona Cool Toned Midi palette, which is, of course, the Natasha Denona Glam. So let's look at them next to each other. Here is, of course, our brand new I Need a Nude palette, and next to the Glam palette. There we go. This is the Glam. This is the brand new I Need a Nude. They're both cool tone, but they're very different, aren't they? Not just in the background, how the pans are located, but just in general, they are very different. And so what I did here was I just did sloppy swatches of the Glam above the swatches I already had on my arm and palm of the I Need a Nude palette. So take a look there. You'll see the Glam is just right above it here in studio lighting, and it just kind of gives you an idea of how those two cool tone palettes from Natasha Denona compare. She certainly listens to her audience. Now, you know, the I Need a Nude is, of course, a continuation of the I Need a Nude collection. Started with lip looks and lip liners and things like that. You know, there's also I Need a Rose and all that stuff. So, you know, maybe we'll have one of those eye palettes coming for Valentine's Day. Did I just do a prediction? I have that on no authority. I'm just wondering. Okay, I had a lot of requests. When you guys know that I'm going to be filming something, and you are welcome to do this, a lot of people DM me or put it in comments on other videos. Can you compare it to this? So here's what I got, comparison requests for many people. A lot of people wanted to see this new I Need a Nude palette right here next to the My Dream palette. Nothing similar. There's a few cool shades in here, that's for sure. But no, just no. So dissimilar, in fact. Oh, lights come back on. So dissimilar, in fact, that I didn't even swatch them next to each other. You need me to do that on Instagram? Happy to do it. But there's so many kind of peachy tones. It's just a totally different vibe. And I actually felt the same, believe it or not, about the Retro palette. Lots of cools in here, but the Retro has so many kind of maroons and just, I just wasn't feeling that they're like each other. You can tell me if you disagree. Here's the Retro. And of course, here is the brand new I Need a Nude. They're both MIDI palettes. This is just all pinky maroony reds. So I started thinking, okay, there's a lot of latte, right? Brown shades in here. What about Biba? Not a MIDI palette, but I thought, what about Biba? Now I have to be careful holding up my Biba because two of the shadows in there need some Gorilla Glue. They want to jump out and, you know, so I'm going to be careful. This is much warmer, of course, so there's really no point, but I just wanted to show you. Here is Biba held at a questioning angle, I realize, and here is our brand new I Need a Nude palette. There are some similarities, no doubt, but this one is just overall warmer in vibe. Now, I mean, you could do individual shades, and I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to compare individual shades for you, of course, over on Instagram. If I do that here, it will just make, I think, for too long of a video. I don't think it's as entertaining for my audience, but you know, guys, when you need it, I will get it over for you, I promise. Now, I want to do two quick looks with this palette. More, less, as I told you, less for some sort of artistry. For me, I mean, obviously not. More just to kind of play with the shades, see how they perform. I will put the names of the shades on the screen. I'm just bringing up my mirror here. You guys like my mirror, and I'm so pleased. I made this mirror on my own. It's a cheapy Amazon mirror with some sticky back wallpaper on it so that you didn't have to look at metal. And people compliment me on it. I'm so flattered. All right, let's start with a Rephr 27 here. And we are going to do 2 different eye looks. And we'll work with those new kind of wet effect formula shades. I'm just going to start this off right here. I will put the name on the screen. And this is pretty much, for me, with my skin tone, like powdering my eye. I am wearing the new Mario, I'm wearing the new Mario concealer, and I've been wearing it all day, and it's held up just beautifully. I heard some people asking me yesterday if it can get dry and show lines. Nope, it's doing great. And I also have the Tower 28, so that's coming up. All right, no, the Tower 28 in the next few days. This is no brush laundry. I don't want to skip. I don't want to, I don't want to change brushes. I'm just going to go in right here and just kind of darken that, put it in the crease. It's super pretty, you guys. I'm even going to take another Rephr number 3 and go into that same shade there and just kind of run it underneath. I mean, why not? And I'm going to go back to that Rephr 27 that I had before. I don't care. And I'm going to go into this really dark shade here and just kind of darken the corner. Why not? Now, let's use some of these wet effects with my finger, okay? I don't know, which one should I do? Let's do Delilah. That is our sparkling wet formula. And you see on the finger, it's already even better than it was on, woo! This is already, sorry, I interrupted myself, even better than it was in the swatch. I mean, obviously I use my finger to make the swatches, but that is glorious. That is a very pretty, it's an interesting, there's no fallout, you guys. It's not falling out, a little bit here, but that's more my clumsiness. There's no fallout, look at that. Again, not even watching for the artistry, watching for the performance. I can't stress that enough, that I'm a journalist, not a makeup artist. But I do at-home makeup. I get compliments. I make it work, you know what I mean? Okay, so, oh, pretty, really pretty. And what if we were to take this and put the same shade, I think I'm going to use the other 2 on the other eye, the same shade just on the inner corner. That's with a brush. So when you use a brush, it's not going to be quite as foiled, or unless you really want to build it. I just think that's really pretty. What I did was a really kind of boring, let's face it, base, and then I let that sparkle shade, Delilah, do all the talking there. Okay, let's do another look on the other eye, switching to clean brushes, of course. I'm going to go in with a little bit darker. Let's go right here. This is a Rephr number 15. And let's go ahead and just cover the, let's do the crease of the eye more towards the outside. I'm just leaving above it, I'm leaving the lid bare. So we'll do kind of a different sort of look there. Let's go in again and do that, okay? And then I'm gonna go underneath with a clean brush and put that a little bit under too, just so that I have some continuity in the look there. Okay, all right, and then let's keep that same brush. And let's go down here. Now we're gonna get a little bit pinkier, peachier, and I'm going to put that over and just kind of darken the whole eye with that. All right, now I want to use these 2 shades. So we have Sheen. I'm going to put Sheen in the corner, and I'm going to put this one here. This is Mia. I'm really interested in Mia. So much so that I want Mia over the entire lid. I know I'm doing a lot with these shades, you guys, but we know how the other shades perform. So these new shades are kind of the star of the show. And then I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to go into Sheen. That was Mia. And I'm going to go into Sheen, and I'm going to run that with the brush onto the eye to meet Mia. For me, I know I've gone kind of disco on you guys, but I really wanted to play with those shades. I thought it was important more than anything else just to see how those perform, see what you think. I think the idea of them is they have a very wet look. They are very sparkly. Yes, glittery, but not traditional. They're smooth. They're smoother. It feels like powder, so it's smoother feeling, almost feels wet between my fingertips and isn't going to leak glitter all over your cheeks. but still give you that really wet, really kind of starry feeling. I think it's just beautiful. So I wanted to make those new shades the star of the show. But you know, I mean, my goodness, you've got so many different textures, so many different formulas, and so many different colors. Many will say, here's my guess, many of you will say, Rebecca, is it kind of just like one look? No, I don't think so. I mean, I think these two looks that we just did now are vastly different, even though I concentrated on the wet effect formula. And I think you could do wonders staying with the peachy shades, staying with the more grayish, gray beige shades in the cool tones there. I mean, you could do an all peachy look. You could do an all kind of cream look. You could do a variations of brown look. You could leave out the wet look shades. I actually think there are a ton of looks in this beautiful, subtle palette. It is subtle, but subtle right now is what everybody wants, as I keep referring to that latte eye look. And that trend won't stay around forever. This palette will outlive that trend, but I still think it's right on trend with that kind of one and done, simple eye, anyone could do it look. And so I think it's beautiful, and I think it will be worth your money, even if it's your first Natasha Denona palette. But tell me what you think. Did you buy it? Did you like these? Do you wish I'd done looks without the wet look? You got to tell me. This is what makes us a community. So let me know down below what you think and if you picked up yours, okay? I need to know everything and what your thoughts are on the leak of the palette and on the brand being very upset about that leak, but then seeming to rush this release. We got a lot to talk about, guys, so let me know everything down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. I know YouTube tends to recommend channels you've already seen, but if you actually click subscribe, it's super helpful to me to help the growth of my channel, and I appreciate it. Plus, come on over and say hello on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Threads. And don't forget, you can become a bigger part of this YouTube community by giving super thanks, shopping from the links below. You can become a channel member for special members only privileges. But in all honesty, just to have you here means the world to me. It truly does. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Ask for any comparisons you need. Ask below or over on Insta, and I'll get those up for you instantly. See you soon.